Western civilization is Christendom. This is our project. We as Christians founded the West. Now, we love so many of the other people that may be of different faiths, but this is a uniquely Christian project. 55 out of 56 of the signers of the Declaration of Independence were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. Almost every single of the original states at the founding father era required a declaration of faith in order to serve in government. Almost every single one of the original colonies had their own theological or denominational allegiance, whether it be Presbyterian or Quaker or Congregationalist, or Maryland would be Catholic. The founding fathers were explicitly Christian. And so in Christendom, we almost are afraid to talk about it, this amazing, prosperous civilization that has given us the wealth beyond our wildest imagination, that gives us charity and gives us generosity and gives us protection of individual rights and gives us all these things that sometimes we take for granted, is under attack from, yes, wokeism, but also Islamism. And now we're going to get to the point where a lot of pastors are afraid. Now, let me tell you, I'm uniquely positioned because I get death threats from two different types of jihadis: purple-haired jihadis and actual jihadis. And if this conversation makes you a little uncomfortable, I'm here to push you and prod you, because you as a pastor need to make sure that your flock is prepared for the infiltration and the invasion of Christendom, Western civilization, from not just the Marxist angle, but from the outright Islamist angle that is happening via mass immigration, infiltration, and non-assimilation practices under Allah and under Islam.
It's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements: ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballots.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn, and it is a jihad that is now needs to be done, because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants the Sharia.
Because in the United States, what we do know is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
Islam itself is not really a religion per se, because Sharia is not a religion. Sharia is an issue of laws. Faisal Abdul Rauf, the man behind the Ground Zero Mosque, he says America must become Sharia compliant. What's that all about? Yeah. So, the West needs to begin to understand that we're not dealing with an issue of religion. We're dealing with the promoters of Sharia. That's who the enemy is.
Our job is to change the Constitution of America.
Present what we as Muslims want to implement here in the United States. We believe the Constitution should be replaced by the Quran.
The first move that I will do, I will abolish the Constitution, and I will establish the only logical and rational Constitution, which is the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.